How's it going, everybody? It's Lockhart here, and today we're going to be talking about War of the Visions, and more specifically, I'm going to go over why I feel like Transcendence is not something that is going to harm me as a player and make me feel like there's this massive gap between me and the whale who's capable of doing it. Before we get into it, let's just do some housekeeping. If you can, please like and subscribe. Giveaway that I'll explain later on at the back end of the video. And in the meantime, let's get into it. So I'm just doing arena right now, and one of the things that I feel like where this really impacts a person daily is arena. Once you start climbing up, you start getting into more 140 teams, or like completely 140 teams too. And it's ambiguous because, like, at first you're like, oh, 140, is that just 140 like out the gate and then they have their passives? Or is this like 140 where they're like near max? And I feel like generally, they're not going to be near max. There is like, I don't think there are no, okay, I'll take this. I was going to say there aren't crazy enough people who are willing to do it, but that's completely wrong because there are definitely people who are willing to do it. But the amount of resources that go into making sure that you can even get max transcendence is enormous. It is just, even for a whale, I know that there is a cap. Like, they still get stonewalled because you either need scrolls, or antlers. So you really have to pick and choose who your max level 140s are going to be. So let's take a look at two of our technically free 140 heroes. Okay. So Lucio is one of them. You don't need scrolls to level him up. I kind of explained this in a previous video briefly. Now, out of mostly boredom, I thought, because I can, let's get Lucio to be like the Dark Killer, So you can see on the left hand here, I can no longer reincarnate him, right? Or I could to see where the rest of the RNG rolls, but to do some quick math, I had to do this 83 times. And so in theory, if the scrolls are 20 each, it would be roughly 1,700 scrolls for my one character, which is like insane, right? Because you reincarnate, you need 20 of these, and then you need these, and then you need these. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, right? Not a good year anyway. So of course it's RNG based as well, meaning that, like, I don't think Lucio, maybe someone else's Lucio is like 80, maybe someone else's Lucio is like 69, maybe someone else's Lucio is 105. I don't know if the cap is 83 every single time. A person could, in theory, be very unlucky or be incredibly lucky. Maybe they only had to do it a couple times and got like mega stats, and I'm just not that person. I'm never lucky in this way. But if a whale is willing to max out every single character that is capable of being 140, I mean, all the power to them. But then you need to go to Wallet Kun and take out Credit Card Dono and be like, my old friend, we need to give them everything, and personally, at that point in time, we should hope that they don't just quit the game, because, like, I don't think, like, you can only spend so much to begin with, and games only last as long as their whales do. So you should kind of want them to do it to a degree, but is it going to affect you? Unless you are a top 10% player who competes in everything, the answer is going to be no. If you're a casual dirtbag like me, you like the character collection portion, you like to just kind of complete things, but you're not competitive. Like, I will give you an example. Even in PvP, in theory, you could throw Viz and get really high as long as you can win to a degree, you know? Or you could even go pretty high if you have a win streak, if you have like a decent team. If you have just a handful of teams, it's going to be harder, but you can keep going and spend viz. I have spent 3 copies or 3 of arena orbs, so that way I can have 15 runs. And for today, I'm at 251, and it'll drop back. If I do this, if I maybe use 3 more pots for the rest of the week, I might just land in the top 1,000. And that's just me being like super casual. I'm not even using the max bonus characters. I'm not using Addison. I'm still using Kefka and his card. I don't have any of these cards, as you can see. So that is the hit that I take that I'm comfortable with. Like, I don't need, you know, the difference between being in the top 1,000 and the top 10. Well, top 10 is far, for one. But the amount of effort and the amount of viz I would probably need to put in so I can get more turns, more arena orbs, so that way I can continue to hold my spot. I don't know if at that point this 2,000 will be 2,000 anymore. Because right now I'm not spending any viz to stay in the top 1,000. But, you know, if I push really hard, I could probably get to the top 100. But then I would probably have to use all my orbs, and in that case, like, you know, I'd rather just use all my orbs, stay in the top 1,000, and, you know, I get that extra 300 viz and some of the other stuff. Or Trials of Reckoning, right? Like, I'd imagine that there's going to be some impact because the character's going to be a lot stronger. They'll be able to hit cap damage. They'll be able to do it in shorter turns. They'll be able to do whatever. And that is also something that you can do as well. But the only thing with Trials of Reckoning is that it is incredibly tedious. At this point, the person who does end up at the top spot probably worked very hard, spent a lot in order to get there. Now, I didn't even try at all. I ranked in the 1,000, whatever, because I autoed everything. I didn't optimize even a little bit. I probably could have. And sorry, if I go here, you know, I was at 5 million. This person was at 27 million. I don't know who they are. I don't know how they were able to do it, but they did, and that's nuts. You know, and you know, their guild, they're like in like the top 2% guild. It's like nutso. So, you know, who you're competing with, also, like, you have to like take a look around and see who you're competing with like regularly. Are you a, again, top 10% player? Then in which case, like, yes, of course, every single one of those reincarnations will count. But if you're like me and you're just kind of playing to collect heroes, you're comfortable with leveling up, whoever you feel like is a good character for you, who you kind of like to have, you're gonna be just fine, guys. And you should really consider the fact that, you know, if there is a bit of a power gap, that is only naturally going to happen. You can't expect to be at the same level as someone who is paid, who is a whale, versus a person who is a light spender or free to play. I think the two, like, you have to take into consideration that it's just not possible. The game isn't built for you to be just as good, because then the game would not survive, right? So don't worry about it. Don't let it stress you out. I promise that it is not a big a gap as you want, because it is just too hard to get all the resources that you want day in and day out. And if they are doing it, they are also a big part of the reason why this game is still going. So we just gotta let the whales float in their own little nice ocean with all their luxury goods, like, you know, whatever whales need in oceans, and just be happy that you still get a game that you love to play, that people are working hard to making sure that is great. They still give us the things that we're kind of asking-ish, you know, like the vision cards. I kind of mentioned that 2 videos ago, and we got them in this patch, you know? And being able to sort by vision cards is not quite perfect, I want to say, but is leaps and bounds compared to what we had before, which was literally next to nothing. So that really, really helps when it comes to Porcelain Tower. So don't sweat it, y'all. Like, we're doing all right. All of us will have our own like communal water that we need to deal with. The whales will have their super nice water that's like, you know, for the top 10%, and we get to keep our game. Everyone is happy. They're still gonna try to do things to make the game better for us, the general population. So that's kind of it. So moral of the story: no. Is Transcendence gonna ruin the game for the majority? I really don't think so. I think it's only Transcendence, Max Transcendence. This is for your top tier of the players who are crazy serious, beyond addicted to the game. It's not an addiction. It is raw passion. It is something that they know that they are more than comfortable and more than capable of being able to go deep into it. But if they're not, then yeah, it's an addiction. 100%. And so to show you the other character that I have also, this is, again, Enzazon was my first 99 character. My first 120 character was also my first 140 character. Nobody uses him. I'm just in it. And I'm at 26, and I'm still nowhere near done. And even though it takes next to nothing to transcend him, I still have to get these stupid scrolls, which is so annoying. But, you know, the time that is put into this alone is almost a massive turnoff. It was just worth more to max out Lucio because he's a beast. And Zazan, I can do slowly. I just need time to do it. So that's it. If you've watched until this point, please, please, please like and subscribe. I'm just a tiny little minnow of a content creator right now. I'm trying to do something every single day. It's just gotten a little bit more challenging now that I have a second kid, and you know, just looking to kind of make my own way here. So yeah, if I get to 1K subscribers or 100K views total, then I will do a giveaway for not one of my Gundams, but a Gundam, Master Grade or Real Grade. I'm not 100% sure yet. It depends on what I can get my hands on. And yeah, thanks everyone. Later.